Do you support Donald Trump?
I do.
Okay. If you could go back in time, you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. Who would you rather vote for?
Donald Trump, of course,
Okay. Why so?
because he's doing what he said he was going to do.
Really? Did he drop the Epstein files?
Not yet.
Did he repeal and replace the ACA?
Not yet.
Did he build the wall? Did he make Mexico pay for it?
Let's focus on this term.
Did he reduce grocery prices?
Yeah.
Really? Because that hasn't happened. Grocery prices have gone up and become more expensive. Did he reduce prices overall? Nope. They become more expensive.
It's not true.
That is true.
It depends on where you live.
No, on average for the country, gas prices are more expensive since Trump got in office. On average in the
It's not
country,
true.
grocery prices are more expensive than when Trump got in office. That's a fact.
It's not true.
That is a fact. It's from the Bureau of Labor Statistics under the Trump administration.
Okay. Sure.
What do you mean, sure? That's are you accepting the Trump administration's numbers?
Um, I will focus on this time last year.
Okay. And what about this time last year? We don't have data actually right now on that for what it is even right now because the government shut down, which Trump said if the government is shut down, it's the president's fault because he should be getting people together to work on a deal, which he's currently not doing.
He's probably golfing, right?
Yeah, probably.
I doubt it.
I mean, JD. I mean,
Uh,
he's AI posting. He's posting AI videos of himself on Harry Sisson. That's what he's doing. He's on the toilet posting AI videos of himself dropping from a jet onto Harry Sisson. That's what he's doing. He's not
you realize it's
he's not addressing anything else. He's not like trying to make the country better. He's not getting people to come together to specifically like work on a deal to like get the government to operate. He's on the toilet posting videos of him shitting on Harry Sisson.
he campaigned on less government.
Well, I'm sorry. What do you mean less government? Right?
Less
What
government.
is he using less government in the context of the First Amendment? Is he using less government specifically in terms of trying to deploy the National Guard in democratically run
That's
states when he could be
that's
sending them
fine.
to
That's fine. You know
Republican
what?
run
If the
states?
Democrats would mind their business and not ruin their own cities.
What do you mean mind their business and not ruin their own cities? Trump's sending
Okay,
the National Guard into their cities. They're minding their own
good,
business.
good,
What do you
good.
mean?
Because the presence of the National Guard may keep them in order.
What do you mean in order? I'm sorry. Why don't you go to a state in which there's a Republican governor, where there's no constitutional issue, where there are higher rates? Like, for example, Texas, as comparative to comparing that to California. California has a lower rate than Texas. So wouldn't it make more sense to send them to Texas, where there's a Republican governor, where there's no constitutional issues, with sending the National Guard there? That he's not actually trying to make the country safer, because if he was trying to do so, he would be sending the National Guard to Republican-run states, right, that have higher rates. So if it's to actually address violent crime, send it to states that have higher violent crime rates, that have Republican governors, where there's no constitutional issue with sending the National Guard there because the governor disagrees with you doing so.
What
He's
state do you
trying to
live in?
test the bounds of his ability to violate the Constitution and seeing what the courts will do in response. That's what he's testing. He's testing the bounds in which he can take his authoritarianism. So you say that he's not some big government individual, but all he's doing is big government. He's violating people's constitutionally protected rights.
What state do you live in?
California.
California. Okay. So,
Are
what's
you
wrong with
about to
California
drive?
right now? Huh? I'm
Are you
not.
about to drive?
I'm in the passenger seat.
Okay, then you're fine.
What's
Go
wrong
ahead.
with California right now?
Oh, no, Trump was trying to send the National Guard here, and we had protests because of that. He did send the National Guard here.
Good.
That's bad because our governor disagrees with it, which means it's not constitutionally allowed.
It is constitutionally allowed. Okay,
It's not.
what
Not
happened?
if
What
not if the
happened?
governor
What happened?
disagrees. That's why when he's sending it into a democratic state, that it's not constitutionally allowed. If he cared about addressing crime, he would be sending them to areas in which there are Republican governors because there's no constitutional issue with him sending in the National Guard. And there's higher rates of violent crime in these areas that are in red states. Why doesn't he address the violent crime in red states where the governors are asking for it?
If the governor Newsom gave a shit, excuse my language, he would have control over what's going on in California, Huntington Beach.
Huntington Beach, where Republicans live?
It doesn't matter who lives there.
Yeah, well,
It
you just
means
said
people are marching.
Orange County is
How do you know-
MAGA.
how do
I
you
just want to
know
let you know.
that
You picked the
Republicans
one
live there?
area in California that's MAGA, by the way.
The whole state is full of Democrats. They vote Democrat. Why are they on the streets?
That's why we're going to vote yes on 50 and take back this country from the people who literally are trying to literally rig the side so that it can give them more power with less votes. They're literally trying to gerrymander states across the entire United States without asking the population of their state if they can do it or not. And California is setting precedents that if you want to redistrict, well, you have to ask the population. And that's a better precedent than what's existed historically on the Republican side.
Look, California has wanted to be a separate country or separated from the United States for a long time.
I wish, because we pay money into the federal government and it goes to a bunch of red states, right? If we could just run ourselves, we would be better off. I mean, we have like the 4th largest economy in the world, right? We'd be fine. We'd be amazing,
why
right?
are people moving? And why are people moving to my state, which is Utah? For the last couple of years, they're all moving here. Why is that?
Why are they moving to Utah?
Yeah,
I mean, that would probably be just like a local thing.
they're flooding here
Okay. And what's your point?
because California is a horrible state to live in. It used to be a great state to live in.
I love California.
How about downtown LA?
Okay. Where specifically are you saying like in every city specifically there are going to be areas where you like specifically would be trying to refer to as quote unquote bad, right? That's what you're trying to say. Do you think that doesn't exist in areas run by Republicans?
Sure, it does. Yes, it sure does. Of course it does.
Okay, so then what's your point?
My point is,
And like what are Republicans doing to address all of the conditions in which, put people in bad conditions? Right? What are they doing to address people's healthcare needs? What are they doing to address the needs for childcare in our country? What are they doing to address the housing crisis?
they're doing a lot of things here in Utah.
No. What are Republicans? Because we're talking about the national level. What are Republicans doing from a national level?
Okay, look, the problem is the federal government gives a lump sum of money for the homeless, for housing, etc. Right? Several billion. Correct?
What's your point?
My point is that the people at the top who trickle it down to the programs where it's needed are taking advantage and taking a shitload of money that they don't deserve, a wage they don't deserve, if they even show up at all, or have any plan at all. Look it up.
Are you saying business owners aren't reliable in fulfilling tasks because they will be greedy?
I'm saying the people in charge of the homeless population.
Wait, no. Are you saying that like the businesses that have been contracted to address things from a governmental perspective, right, or government like investing in them, like the businesses themselves, the contractors haven't been reliable because of greed and the profit incentive?
It has nothing to do with contractors.
That's what it sounds like you're saying.
It has to do with who's being handed the money to
exactly.
deal with the
So
homeless.
private contractors?
It's not private contractors, and you know damn well it's not private contractors.
So who's being given the money?
The state, the health department.
Where do they spend the money?
Well, they give a very small portion of it to where it should be.
Well, where did you
Look
find
it
this
up.
information from?
Look it up.
Well, I'm asking you because it sounds like you haven't even looked into it, and you're just trying to make all of these
It's,
claims about it as like in such a confident manner.
well, I'm making a claim about where did I find the information?
Yeah.
Over the last 3 years, it's been a very uh, sensitive topic, and especially in California. You know what?
I live in California.
There's corruption in California and in their government. How
Yeah,
many
and you
how
know
much
that living
money?
in Utah?
Look, I spend some time in the Bay Area,
Yeah, you've spent
the Bay Bridge.
some time in the Bay Area. I've lived in
My parents are from Hayward.
cool.
Okay,
I've lived in Los Angeles for over a decade.
okay. Listen, the New Bay Bridge. How much over did they budget? How much over budget did they go?
So your judgment is that a particular governmental program went over budget. I mean, do you want to talk about the Trump administration and their budget issues?
No, I want. No, no. I
They're
want to
giving
talk about
massive
the Bay Bridge.
trillion-dollar
I
tax
want to
breaks
talk
to
about the Bay Bridge.
they're giving trillion-dollar tax breaks to millionaires and billionaires, right? And
Good,
adding that
good,
all to the debt. You think that's good?
good. Yeah, I do
Yeah,
think
well,
tax
and
breaks
they're
for
cutting off,
billionaires.
and the big beautiful bill, for example, cuts 420,000 children off of free school lunch and breakfast. I have a
Good.
question. Are you Christian?
I am Christian.
So it's very, very Christian to give massive tax breaks to millionaires and billionaires to the tunes of
Yes, it
trillions
is.
while cutting free school lunch and breakfast from children in the context of school systems to the degree of
It
420,000
is.
children on average every single month. Very Christian, right? Tell me, where in the Bible does it tell you to do that?
I don't know where in the Bible does it say school lunch?
I don't know. Maybe the part where like literally God spawned in manna from heaven, right? And gave it to people for free. I don't know. Maybe then.
Maybe it will put their parents to work to
I mean,
get their
do you
ass
remember
busy.
that? I mean, did that not happen in the Bible? Did Jesus not teach you to like love thy neighbor and to like feed the poor and the hungry,
Yep. Yeah.
especially the
What about tough
children?
love?
Especially
What
the
about tough
children.
love? What about tough love?
You mean you think it's tough love? You think it's acceptable to starve children?
No, I don't think it's acceptable to starve children. I think it's
That's what you just said.
acceptable
You just said it's
for
acceptable
the
to
parents
vote
to
for
work
policy that
harder.
starves children.
I think it's acceptable for the parents to work harder so they don't have to be on free lunch. Because there's a lot of lazy around.
Okay, so you're just calling everyone lazy. You know who's lazy? Donald Trump, JD Vance. Can you name one thing JD Vance has done during his vice presidency?
Yes, I can. He went to Texas when the floods hit.
Him going to a place? No, I'm asking what has he done as vice president? Like a policy maybe? He's advocated for anything legitimate other than just
Why?
going to a place?
Why are you skipping? Why are you skipping
I mean,
around?
I could say he's vacationed, right? He sat
No,
on
he's
the
not
couch.
vacation.
He's done some things with the couch. What's up?
He's done, but neither of them have done any vacationing. They've been campaigning for such a long
No,
time.
Vance has been vacationing multiple times. He's
Yeah?
vacationed on multiple occasions.
Where'd he
This
go?
year, dude.
Where'd he go?
I saw one where he was at Disneyland.
Well, good. That's a good family vacation.
Yeah, Disneyland. I mean,
What does that have to do with anything? Have you been to Disneyland? Your
no,
parents
I
take
haven't.
you?
I haven't been to Disneyland in the past 9 months. No.
Well, the past 9 months, don't you think he has children who want to go to Disneyland like you did when you were a child?
I mean, well, multiple times during the year. When I was a kid, I didn't go on like 4 to 5 to 6 to 8 vacations. You know, like the entire year. Like I didn't do that. I didn't do that utilizing tax dollars from the federal government. I definitely didn't do that.
Okay, I highly doubt he's spending tax dollars to fund his.
I mean, taxpayer money from the context of his private security from the federal government.
He
Or
makes a
not
wage.
private security, but security through the government.
He makes a wage.
He makes a wage. Yeah,
Yes.
and he's still getting paid while he's on vacation
How do you know that?
because he has a salary.
Okay. Okay. A lot of people who have salaries go on vacation and are still paid.
8 times in a year? No way. Why did it make me kick him for hate speech and hateful behaviors? That's kind of crazy, right?